We have no problem welcoming these people to the village, but they outnumber us about 7-8 to 1. There's only a little over 100 people.
What was your reaction on finding out that the government plans to house 950 people here in this village of around 100?
Yeah, well, my response was I was absolutely shocked, beyond shocked, as we all were. We couldn't believe it. We were just bewildered. We couldn't believe it. This is actually happening in our own area.
And a lot of the people at the meeting tonight have said that they don't really see how the Animo or the surrounding areas can accommodate such a large influx of population. Would you agree with that sentiment?
Well, you're talking about the middle of Wicklow, in the middle of a huge field. We have in the village of Animo one little antique shop. There's no post office. There's no bus service. Why would they pick that area? They're certainly not thinking about the people, the Ukrainian people, and they're certainly not thinking about the community either. Very annoying.
And what kind of impacts do you think that might have on the local community here?
Okay, well, for myself, I live about a mile away from that area, and I have a daughter, and she's got young children, and we can go walking in that area, and all my neighbours, so we can go walking. But now, we don't know who's going to be in. They say Ukrainians, but maybe it will be Ukrainians. But those Ukrainians will have teenage sons, I'm sure. And, what do they do all day, every day? And so, is that the end of our walking in Wicklow, in the Wicklow Hills, feeling safe? That's my worry. That's one of my worries. One of my worries.
Would you be concerned about the possible environmental impacts of having 1,000
Yeah, of
people?
course. That was brought up tonight. And the sewerage and the water supply and the wildlife, everything. Yeah, of course. But according to the guy who's running the company, what's it called? Pastures New?
Pastures New.
They have done their environmental assessment and everything is hunky-dory. Everything, according to him.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Which I'm very sceptical about.
The first inkling that we got was an email from the department. It was on the 16th of October. It was at 3:32, and at 3:33 we got an email from the Chief Executive of Wicklow County Council, basically giving the same information that we'd received from the department. To say it was a shock is an understatement. So obviously with family in the area, I contacted my wife, she's from Lara Village, and contacted some of the extended family to see was it people in the area notified of this, and obviously they weren't. Since then we've had a meeting with two members of the integration committee who are supposed to be coming here to integrate the community and the Ukrainian families that are going to be coming in here. I felt that meeting, we got more information from them. They were a little bit more forthright than the meeting tonight. The meeting tonight, I felt talking to a lot of the communities that's just left, that there's more questions now than they had when they arrived here this evening. There's more questions and answers that we got here tonight, unfortunately. We know there's a crisis out there, but the real crisis is that the lack of information, the lack of consultation, a community of Animo which has just over 100 residents, that somebody in the department feels that to bring 950, they say there'll be very few men, but there'll be women and children, elderly people, to basically put them in a field in Animo is crazy. There is no natural infrastructure here, such as footpaths, such as, people are already struggling to get into doctor's surgeries, school places. Public transport is little or non-existent in the community. And it's people like this woman here that came here to get answers tonight. You asked a number of questions yourself, as did this lady, as did I, and I felt that we didn't get proper answers. So there's more questions than answers, and that's the main feeling coming out here tonight. There's lots of questions around the contract and whether there's contract signed, and the two people that are here tonight are obviously here, they're part of a management company. They say there's two directors of this company that's going to make a lot of money out of this. And I feel that it's an Ireland of 1,000 welcomes, 100%, and we welcome people in from all over the world. But there is a core group in Ireland who are going to be very, very wealthy out of projects like this. And I think the two individuals that are here tonight are an example of that. They gave very little detail, vague on what they were going to be putting into this site. vague on their experience of running the site of this. They've run Stradbally for 6 weeks. There wasn't forthright in their information in regards to its 32-week contract that's signed. When they're asked was it signed, they couldn't say it was signed, it wasn't signed. I'm leaving here tonight as frustrated as the local community, and we don't want to come across as saying that we're against helping Ukrainians or any other nationality that's coming from war-torn countries. But as I highlighted here tonight, in Wicklow Town, for example, we had a situation where families were accommodated for 4 years. After 4 years, the contract was changed overnight. Within 2 days' notice, those families that were going to local schools, involved in local sports clubs, were taken out of the Grand Hotel and sent to the four corners of Ireland. The contract changed. A new contract was signed, and the information that I have is that the owners of that, or the people who are benefit, are making over €8 million per annum for the Grand Hotel in Wicklow. There's loads of examples all over this county, Capure and West Wicklow, Ashford and other places. I just feel that, Ireland, we're being used to a certain degree. We're a small country. I look at the figures that's, housing people coming from Ukraine and other countries, and we seem to be taking more than a fair share. We still have an awful lot of people in this country who are homeless. There's a housing crisis, which people here didn't seem to want to talk about tonight. And that's, unfortunately, I'm representing people from this community who are looking for houses, who want to remain in the community where they were reared, where their parents live, where their grandparents live. There's no availability of rented houses or new social houses in small rural areas, and yet we're expected to take in 950 people overnight. It's very, very frustrating, and as I say, everyone in here come here with the right intentions. There's nobody here doesn't want to help, but this is a small rural community, and this gentleman here tonight said that he is in talks with other people in regards to the county of Wicklow, and they don't care about the effect on tourism, on the local businesses or anything else. So frustration is the one word that I would use tonight, and really more questions still hang out there than answers that we got tonight, and very much frustrated for the residents more than anyone else.
Can I address this question to you?
Yes.
The representatives of Pastures New here, they repeatedly said that they don't expect the Ukrainians to stay more than a couple of weeks at this facility.
That's
Given
right.
that there's no end to the war in sight, and we know that at least 550 are arriving here each week. Do you think that that's credible?
No, I think that they're just fobbing us off at the moment, that they're bringing all the people in, and Ireland has been very good to Ukrainian and others, and when is it going to stop? We have no problem welcoming these people to the village, but they outnumber us about 7-8 to 1. There's only a little over 100 people. Some of us are older people. Yes, there is younger people come in, they've bought up, come in, and they have very young children, and they've school-going kids as well. As it was pointed out here tonight by two parents, they fear for the safety of their children who have learned to walk down to the corner to get their school buses, get off of their school buses and walk back home. That independence is now going to be taken from them because of the amount of traffic that's going to go to the estate. And I don't think they have really looked at the facilities on the estate, where they're putting them, because the field is called the Flat Bog. It was originally a bog, and the bog really doesn't change. It's still wet land. There's a river runs by the back of them, so up here in Animo we get very cold nights because there's a mountain behind, and there's no protection in the field. It's not a protected field, it's an open field with maybe trees on one side, but the rest is open land.